Limaloves, and welcome back to it. Let's game it out. He released another one. It's perfect timing for 1.0 release. I've been playing a metric fuck ton of Let's Game It Out. Well, Satisfactory. Dude, I am all over the place today. This is just how it's gonna go, alright? Don't mind me. I was thinking about releasing content like this because I love playing management sims or just games in general, so I might just release some stuff on the channel at some point with this, but I really wanted to ease into it because boy does gaming content take a lot of time and does not get a lot of recognition, or at least too many people are doing it, so it's overexposed. Regardless, this is Let's Game It Out. Let's talk about some Satisfactory, some ideas, some things I love, some things I hate, and of course our boy Josh.
Hey there, it's Josh. Welcome back to Let's Game It Out. Yeehaw! It's time for Satisfactory. The game is officially out after many years in early access, which means it's time for us to jump back in and see what new wild stuff we can do. My save game still works, by the way. The same save game I've been using for the last 5 years, but a lot has changed since the game first started, and nothing is more telling than—
I can't believe his computer could run this.
Looking at our unlocks. Like, at some point this whole menu got confused. Some stuff is updated, some stuff isn't. I can't even tell what's new and what's not anymore. So for that reason, we're gonna leave all this behind and dive into a brand new world.
Wow. He's able to leave this behind and start fresh. The patience on this dude, which I'm sure we'll see.
Hey, speaking of diving in, you ever thought about diving into a new browser? What about Opera GX, the browser for gamers?
Oh,
you
yeah?
ever just want to have a little more fun with your web browser? Because with Opera GX and the GX mods, you can. Over in the GX store, you can—
I am not really crazy about like using other browsers, but I mean, if you guys vouch for it, I will test it out. I guess we'll see. All right, anyway, we're back into it.
No, wait, pay attention to me. Well, that was great. Yes, everything— let's listen for free today. And thanks again to them for sponsoring. And now let's see how things are going over it.
What a transition, by the way.
And hey, no, wait, pay attention to me. Well, that was great. Yes, everything looks good outside. I am very excited about what I am seeing. What awaits us this time, only time will tell. Okay, let's get out there, see what's going on. Oh, and can't forget our all-purpose doohickey that I lovingly fondle with my thumb. Okay.
Question for those who actually play Satisfactory in here and are fans of me. Hey, what's up, guys? What's up to all 10 of us? How you guys doing? It's quite a niche category we're in, huh? But anyway, this is the question I had was, I wish one we got to upgrade the builder. I mean, we still can. I'm only on, I think I just hit 5 and 6. We're taking a lot of time to go through the MAM research currently. But I wish there was a little bit more upgrades with like the builder stuff itself, besides like the blueprints and all that shit. And also if the biomes had a little bit more of a randomization besides like, if the veins themselves, I don't know if they're always supposed to be pure, impure, and normal in certain areas, or if they like swaps depending, or if like every time it randomly is like, oh, this is gonna be pure, this is gonna be normal, whatever it may be. I was just kind of curious on everybody's experience with that, or if it's always the same, like this node is always gonna be impure, this one's always gonna be normal, and all that. Because I love the map, but I just want a little bit more randomness because this is like my 5th time playing this thing, or at least trying to at this point.
Okay, first things first. You, drop pod. Let us deconstruct you for parts. And the next thing up is we need to do a scan for the Satisfactory building blocks of life, iron ore. Where are you? Show me. And we'll see up here on our little radar where it is. Bing. Target acquired. Let's go take a gander. The game's also prompting me to pick up leaves along the way, which is excellent because we got these excessive little grabby hands that'll just suction up anything we get close to. And don't worry, you take as much as you can. Go ahead and be greedy. Oh, and there's our target now. A place to get some iron ore. Well, let's hop on down there and we're fine. Hey, you, get away from that.
Dude, those guys are annoying as shit, and they always get stuck in my stuff, and I just have to murder the hell out of them, and it feels horrible. I feel like a horrible person when I do that. Do you guys have a designated spot you like to spawn in? This is my first time spawning. I think it's called the Grasslands, and it's cute, but there's like, I don't want to say there's no personality with it, but like, it's very beginner friendly, which is what it's for. It's just, I'm playing with a bunch of people that have not played it before, so I'm like, all right, now might be a good time to start this. Otherwise, I usually like desert a lot too, which also is very bland, but I got so used to the location at this point.
Have a stun prod for such an occasion. In fact, even though it's walking away from it, I need a beauty bubble. Get out of here. Yeah, that'll teach it. Anyway, back over to this. All we really need to do is approach it cautiously but optimistically, and hold down E to do a little mining. And after a couple of quick taps, victory is ours. Truly, we are conquerors. There is more where that came from, though.
Pure? I have 3 impure mines. and it's been a nightmare.
We can just keep on hitting this thing, and really, why wouldn't you? And now we have in our inventory all the things we need for right now. Leaves, wood, and finally iron, which we're gonna use to build the hub, the heart of your factory. Let's see, where do we want to put this? It would make sense for us to put it somewhere accessible, but we don't normally do that, so I'm not gonna start now. I am a big fan if we can make this work, which doesn't seem to want to be the case. But hang on, maybe I just need to go up there first. I mean, if there can be grass, surely there can be a base, right?
Honestly, fair.
Right. Sadly, apparently not. I can't seem to find a place where it'll let me do it. We did, however, find one of these guys. Look at that. It's a power. Oh, no. Well, it was good while it lasted. All right, fine. We'll put it on top of this nice puddle. There we go. It looks so good. And also kind of...
Honestly, it does kind of look good.
Naked. Where's the roof and stuff?
Gotta build it.
And where am I hearing this mewing noise? What is that and where is... Oh, hello. Oh, yeah.
That's the spider thing, right?
Forgot all about this. These are supposed to be spiders, but I turned on arachnophobia mode, and so your visor in-game overlays a cat face on top of it. How's that for sweet in-game lore? Anyway, whatever, doesn't mean we're not gonna come over here and smack it. Well, hopefully that takes care of that little problem. You know, I don't think it's going to. Something tells me there's more cats down here. Oh good, there's another one. Quietly hiding from
I kinda want to turn it on now.
us. Well, no time like the present, come here. Okay, much better. So we got two components to this thing. We got the crafting bench, where we can handcraft stuff like iron ingots, where we just push the big old craft button and watch the magic happen. One beautiful ingot at a time. And then over here we have the hub terminal, which we can open up, select a tier, in this case tier 0. Choose the next milestone we're gonna work on, bask in the amazing unlocks we get, then we select the milestone, and it sits here and demands stuff from us. In this case, whatever this is.
It's iron rods. You know iron rods. I'm surprised you didn't skip the tutorial, but I guess if you're going into 1.0, you kind of want to see what everything is going to be new with it.
Iron rods, which we make by taking iron ingots and turning them into rods. You know, kind of like going over to the crafting bench, heading on over to the side, selecting iron rod, and then craft a whole bunch of those. And then we drag what we need over there. Then it's like hub upgrade ready to upgrade the hub. I'm sorry, I just don't understand. Could you say upgrade and hub one more time? Oh, hey, and you did. Thank you. It's also clear to me now. Okay, we did it. And for our troubles, we now have a frame. And that's how it goes. Now we can do hub upgrade 2, just like the first upgrade, which gave us an equipment workshop, portable miner, and another hand equipment slot. Hub upgrade 2 gives us stuff like a smelter, power line, copper ingot, wire, cable, and another thing we can scan. What a deal. And now they need more stuff. In this case, iron rods and iron plates. No problem. We'll just go ahead and craft these. And then once that's done, upgrade again, and then watch as more stuff appears.
It's kind of crazy how much of the game you could still craft by hand. Like, I think I didn't necessarily craft them by hand, but the stuff that you need for the phase 2, I believe, of the space elevator, I ended up just making like a storage container into a assembly, and then just had, like, I didn't make a factory for it. I just kept throwing things in there because I'm like, all right, I mean, I'm not gonna make a whole factory for these pieces. I'm not gonna need to make again. So I just kind of make a dump facility and then just have it from there craft on its own if I don't craft it by hand.
Oh my goodness, now there's a room, and it's under construction, just like my GeoCities page. Oh, and also a chest for, like, hiding stuff in an organized manner. That's kind of what containers are, right? And what might this other room be? Ooh, empty. How full of possibilities. I hope something exciting happens with my crying corner, and we'll know when we do Hub Upgrade 3, which incorporates not just plates and rods, but also something new. It's wire, made from copper, which now we need to go find. No problem, that's what scanning's for. Come here, copper ore, where are you? Excellent. Only 195 miles away. I mean, meters.
Random thing too. If you guys want me to do a spitting Brit, I think I'm going to do one for the next time we do a gaming video reaction, since we've done a lot of Let's Game It Out. I know I think I talked about it last time, but this bad boy popped out. I'm like, all right, we might as well check this one out, and then afterwards we'll go to spitting Brit.
Mile meters. Whatever, what do I look like, a physicist? The only thing that matters to me is we found the ore. Step 1, hit the top part until it explodes. And then go for the pure copper ore chewy center.
You got pure copper too? Are you ready? I have so much bad shit on my run.
And then back over at the thingamabob. Take that copper, make it into ingots, which we then turn into wire. Feed the machine, upgrade the thing. Oh my goodness, and also look at this. It looks like we now have a bed bed chamber. I call top bunk. And not just that, but look over here. We got our best friend. Oh, and not just that. You can actually use the toilet. Here, take some of this copper I made. And by that, I mean 1 copper. And
Yeah, it's very annoying. I cannot use it.
then we flush it. Yes, excellent. Get it all over the floor and my shoes. Okay, great. And now back to rapid fire upgrades. Select milestone, add the stuff that it needs, see there's a thing I don't have, see that it's concrete, and then see that I can scan for limestone. And
Real quick, I think concrete is my #1 thing. I think it's my favorite thing to make in Satisfactory. I love getting creative with like the builds and stuff and being able to kind of just build ramps vertically just while you're exploring. Like I recommend to everybody, if you're new to Satisfactory and you're watching this, if you're going to walk out in the world, have like 1,000 concrete on you. And I think you need steel plates as well, unless you have asphalt. What? Asphalt? Asphalt. Why does that sound weird? I think I'm saying that weird now. Just so you can build vertically with the 4-meter ramps. It makes a massive difference and you can go a lot higher, a lot easier than like platforming.
then I go find the limestone, excitedly slide on the ground to get to it, triumphantly defend ourselves from the local wildlife. Thank you for your sacrifice. And then stabby until I extract a lot of stuff. Turn that limestone frown upside down by turning it into concrete, shove it in the machine, high five that button, and so on and so forth. Give the thing to the thing, push the thing, watch as things change again. I think. I actually can't tell the difference on this one. Head back in, go to Hubbub Upgrade 6, laugh heartily at the things it wants because it's so easy for us. And before you know it, we're not even alone on this planet anymore. Oh my goodness, look at this. We've made a friend. Are you trying to land? How about I just stop you? What do you think of that? Aw, I'm just kidding. I didn't mean what I said. Come on back down. Everything's safe. Just kidding. Aw.
Hours? I wouldn't doubt it, actually.
Okay, I think I've worked it out of my system. I swear, I'm actually gonna let this thing land this time. And scene. Our very own transport pod thing. At least I think that's what it is. The good news is tier 0 is done. Now we're on to glorious tier 1, which is gonna be the foundation for all kinds of stuff. Here's what I plan to do with our little base here.
Let me tell you, it took me, I think, roughly 20 to 30 in-game hours to find out that there's no more beacons. I was looking for beacons forever. I was looking in the equipment shop, I was looking through the tiers and stuff. I'm like, we used to have beacons, and then I realized there was a map button. I didn't realize we could look at the map the entire time, or at least recently. I felt like an idiot afterwards.
I want everything to come to me. I don't want to have to wander all over the place to find stuff. I want to be able to look at my base and be like, ah, yes, that old thing. I can find anything I need here. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds kind of organized. Don't worry. It'll be fine. Head on up to the stuff sticking out the top, smack, explode. And then, luckily, to make new stuff, we don't have to go back to base. We can just make it on site here with the crafting bench and the equipment workshop. It's like having a convenience store anywhere you want it, and it's only for you. Anyway, they're worth keeping around for stuff I may need.
The one thing I do wish is that the equipment shop was able to make everything you can make elsewhere as well. I know it's for equipment, but like, I don't want to build both of them, you know? It's still a crafting bench.
Because you can build actual equipment here. In this case, a portable miner. Because we need a few of these, because they're needed to make the bigger miners. Okay, now we can take this little mining building and it snaps right onto the node. Yep. And there it is. What a beaut. And now that that's done, we're gonna scan for all the various nodes nearby and then put miners down on all those too. And we'll know when our work is done because they'll have a check mark next to them, which means that all 4 of these ones right here will go from just being white like this to looking more like this.
Every time he does a flash, I get a little nervous because I know damn well something else happened. So Josh, what happened?
I mean, one of them doesn't have one, because while a lot of these built just fine, for some reason we're having trouble overcoming this giant boulder in the way. Anyway, that handles all the iron nodes for now, as well as any nearby copper nodes, and also this limestone one. And now that that's done with, it's time for my favorite part, the part where we attach conveyor belts.
I wonder if he has a, does he have another person that plays with him that does B-roll? Because this shot alone...
Wait, that handles all the iron nodes for now, as well as any nearby copper nodes.
And he went AFK just looking at an empty miner that's not even producing anything. So he either has, like, someone that's also getting B-roll as he's playing, or sometimes he just goes AFK and gets like 30 minutes to an hour's worth of just him staring at a thing.
Also this limestone one. And now that that's done with, it's time for my favorite part. The part where we attach conveyor belts to this mysterious black hole where stuff comes out. Okay, out you go, little conveyor belt. We'll just do a quick one so we can see how it looks. Ah, yes, it's perfect. There's no minerals coming out yet because we haven't given the thing power, which is why this is pulsing red. We're gonna run these conveyor belts first, all the way back to our hub. And that means running all the belts. And in fact, why not have this one zigzag across this one? Yeah, look how good this looks. Finally, a little art. Anyway, they're all connected now, and I decided that this little corridor is going to be the central thoroughfare, you know, for all of our conveyor belt needs. And I do mean all of them. And eventually, they all do stop right around here, right outside of the hub. And now the next thing up is getting electricity working.
What the hell do you have planned? Oh, why do I keep getting frozen now? Oh, okay, I understand. Hold on, stand by. Actually, I mean, technically we can keep going. But I'm going to just, yep. Uh-huh. There we go. I got my movement again. Don't mind me. I'm a newbie when it comes to anything, and I'm still fixing it now. There we go. So maybe that's a little bit better. I'm still pretty much a noob when it comes to even just technology in general, so don't mind me. I'm more of a chatter and certified personality. Because all I got going for me is I can smile real good. Even so, maybe not.
Which over on our base thingy is where these things come into effect. Behold, biomass burners. You remember all those?
Ah, yes, the first 30 minutes of the game. And then once you get water power, you never touch them again. Unless you need to open, I guess, some of the... Oh, wait. I guess you can always carry around a pole, but I guess that's kind of annoying. Yeah, I use biomass burners until I get water, and then I just delete all the biomass burners.
Leaves we collected? Well, now we'll be able to use them for something. Delicious fuel. But first we need to run power to everything. So we'll just drag a power line from that thing over to here. Yep, like that. And there's two of them, so we gotta do it twice. There we go, connected them both. And now it's just about running these power lines pretty much anywhere we want. Yep. In the water? Fine. All the way up here onto this thing? Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, now everything is connected. And now back over at the biomass burners. The only thing left to do is pull the switch.
Too much power?
And watch as I blow a fuse. What do you mean? Is this not enough power? What do I gotta do, math to figure this out? Oh, I see.
Yeah. You have to do a lot of math in this. And I've also realized, this is something I did want to really talk about the community. So if you guys have made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching 15 minutes of my video. I guess technically his video, but me enjoying his video. There's two different ways to play this game. You can either play it as a smart person and do math and make sure that like, oh, you can output this many things, it takes this much power, everything is perfect and matches up. And everything, there's not like a single thing that goes to waste, right? You could play like that. Or you could play like I've been doing, because every time I play this game I end up stopping because I get overwhelmed with the amount of math I'm doing. What you can do is you can just make it to make it. Alright, even if it's not effective, even if it makes one every like 30 seconds or so, because the right amount of materials just doesn't get in there properly, just do it. Just do it anyway, because what's going to happen is you're going to set it, and then you're going to forget you ever did it, and you're going to go explore some shit for a few hours, and you're going to come back, and you're going to have a whole storage full of, like, rotors or some shit. It'll be great. Alright, so just, if you get overwhelmed, just try to make one automated. Even if it's not efficient. It's still progress.
See, I have to do a little reading. It looks like all of our factories consume upwards of 45 megawatts, and it looks like each one of these generators do 20 megawatts. Luckily, we can build these biomass burners all on their own, which is actually far more convenient anyway, because instead I'm gonna build them over here near this stuff, just like one here, and also one right there, and then maybe one here. And what the hey, why not a fourth one? And right between all of them, we're gonna put a storage container, which inside this thingamabob, we're gonna shove all of our plant matter that we found. But
that's fair, even though I hate using the leaves. Gotta turn that shit into biomass.
That doesn't feel like an...
But also I love putting like foundations down to put everything, make sure it's nice and neat, but also I've never beaten the game before. So he's probably made it significantly farther than I ever have, and you've seen the way he does things.
Enough. We can do better than that. Well, with all this glorious foliage out here, might as well just run around and siphon it all up. I like to think of it as doing a little landscaping. Whoops, looks like we missed some bushes, and whatever that is. No problem, easily handled. Gimme, and you get a little nudge.
my god.
Oh, I'm sure it's just sleeping. Anyway, now we have plenty of stuff. Actually, more than enough stuff. This container's all the way filled, and we have so many more leaves left. Well, that's fine. We'll just build more of these. How about 4, in fact? 1 for each generator. Now all we need to do is run some conveyor belts in an organized fashion, each to their own generator, just like so. And there they go. And then making their way to these various generators to do the hard work so we don't have to. Let's go ahead and reactivate our power.
How much?
Ah, there we go. And look, there it goes. The true mining has begun. Yes, that's the spirit.
It's actually a healthy amount. Probably significantly more than he needs currently, but I guess we'll see what he's making.
Minerals for days. This isn't the end of their journey, though. These minerals do eventually reach the end of their conveyor belt. And near the base, too, we got this really cool looking monument thing. And do you know what I especially like about it? It's verticality, which kind of has me wondering, can we just build stuff like above this? For that, though, we're gonna have to unlock some stuff. Over here in the tier 1 base building milestone, we're gonna need to use some of these foundations. So let's feed the base. Oh,
I like that he says some instead of all.
Joy, and now it's back to a fancy button. 1, 2, 3, launch. And there goes our supplies right into the upper atmosphere. Or are you? Bye-bye. Yeah, I don't actually know if that's gonna affect some stuff. I'll just put the hub back down and I guess we'll learn together. What I can tell you is the thing is still gone. And if I look directly into the sky, beautiful clear skies and 1 weird little pixel. Hey, what is that pixel anyway? Wait a minute, that's the thing I eliminated from existence. Oh wait, it's coming back, apparently. Okay. Oh, and here it is, again. Okay, I see, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Milestone exchange concluded. Okay, well great. Now we have foundations, which is what we're gonna use to build above our hub. At least that's the plan. Let's do some vertical building and see if it works. And
isn't that used significantly more than if we just use the thicker one?
It sure seems to be. We can build across too. Well, so far so good. This does appear to be directly above the base. And now the question is, can I build something on top of this? Let's experiment by putting a smelter there. Smelt ore into ingots. Yep, looks like it's possible. And we'll go ahead and put that right in the middle. And then from here, we're gonna do some more building up and then across to make an entirely new level again. And then I can place another smelter. Okay, great. Yes, this is looking
for maybe the 1 or 2 of you. What are you doing? Why do you keep disconnecting me? I'm trying my best. I'm trying to entertain people here, and you're giving me sass. All right, hold on. Windows noise. Now I feel like an unprofessional. I wonder why this happens. It's been happening significantly more recently, and I don't know why. Well, it's probably gonna happen a few more times during this. I don't know why, but bear with me. And I guess, sorry. I guess I was just gonna say that for 1 or 2 of you that don't know how to build a long thing, like as he's doing, like either going all up and all to the side, it's when you push R when you're building foundations, it's one of the most helpful things you can do for quality of life shit.
Oh, so great so far. And I kind of like having just 1 machine per floor. Gives us room to grow up, that is. And with us having all of these materials here, we're gonna need a lot more than 2 smelters. Good thing I spent some time building more stuff. Oh boy, and it looks like each one is a little less lined up than the last. And now all we need to do is run these things all the way up there. Honestly, shouldn't be too hard. If I just click and then hold, I can make these go a little bit higher. And then thankfully from here, we can just get it to connect all the way up here like this. Ah, that was easy. In fact, you know what? I think we have too much space up here. Let's go ahead and highlight these 3 things and trim this down to a perfect 3x3 grid. And there we go, nice and even. Now all we need to do is connect this thing right here, making sure to connect every machine to minerals with a whole beautiful system of dragging our stuff up as high as it'll go. And what an eyesore too. Who doesn't love their spaghetti airborne? I know I do. Okay, so now we've got a couple of things covered, like copper ingots as well as iron ingots. And we've also got limestone turning into concrete.
Oh, see, it may not be organized, but it's working, and it does work.
You know, I gotta wonder something. If we go over here and use the hub and then launch another pod, is this thing gonna be able to leave? Yep, doesn't look like anything's gonna stop this. Well, that's nice to know. Besides, I don't think it's going anywhere anyway. I think it's just gonna stay up there till it comes back down. And then when it makes its return trip, it does the same thing, using the platforms for leverage before landing smoothly. The future's got cool technology. Now, the next thing we need to work on is building the space elevator, which if you look at it in our building stuff, shouldn't be that hard to build. In fact, I already have most of the things we need. This concrete in particular should be pretty easy. All I have to do is step off the edge, drop down a floor, floor. And wouldn't you know, this one's making concrete.
I'm surprised he's even using storages, because like part of me thinks he's just gonna grab it off the belt.
Now this wire, on the other hand, we don't have a machine for this, but we do now, and belt goes in there. To make wire, though, we need this belt to connect to copper, which is down here somewhere. At least I think it's down here. Ow. Oh yeah, there it is. And we're gonna want to send it out of the other side of this container. Okay, so let's pull the copper out through here, send the conveyor belt over yonder, and
one thing would be annoying is doing the logistics for upgrading the belts. Unless you just don't upgrade the belts, but like at some point you're gonna want like tier 2 or tier 3, and then you're gonna have to go through this whole spaghetti mess.
then just find a place where it'll work, build that piece too, and then before you know it, copper's arrived at our constructor, and out comes the wire. Giant, beautiful spools of copper. In fact, while we're at it, since we're gonna need stuff that makes iron plates, iron rods, screws, and cables, I went ahead and built constructors for those too. We got iron ingots going in to turn into iron plates, not to mention other iron ingots popping out to make iron rods that are then getting transported all the way to the top conveyor belt, and then shoved into another machine to make screws. And of course, we can't forget about the copper wire, which goes in looking like this and then comes out looking like cable.
I am trying my best here. Can we please talk about screws? All right. And the horrificness that they are in the early game. Until you get the thing that's like, oh, you can just go straight from bars to screws. Fantastic upgrade from a hard drive. Everything else is just a pain in the ass.
Now that we have all the supplies we need, let's build the space elevator. Oh god. You know, looking at it now, I don't think this is gonna fit. It seems a little too big for the space provided. Okay, just this once, we're gonna make this platform bigger. Okay, there we go.
Well, you can make the platform, build it, and then remove said platform? Maybe?
The impossible is now possible. And there it goes, getting built. And if I recall, it does a little song and dance, or whatever we want to call this. And then I think something else is supposed to happen, but I can't remember quite what it is.
The penetration.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know, never mind. I remember now. It's burned into my memory forever. And there you have it. Our very own space elevator.
Yeah.
And what's that above this? Is that new? It looks like there's more stuff up there. I guess we'd have a better idea if it wasn't so cloudy. Well, either way, let's see what this has to offer to us. So basically, we need to get through phase 1, also known as make smart plating. 50 to be exact. And you're probably like, what are smart plates? Well, I'm so glad you asked. We actually unlock it under tier 2 under part assembly, which also unlocks a bunch of other advanced stuff. Assemblers, rotors, modular frames, all of which I think we're gonna need to build that thing. Well, be careful there, you're gonna hit the space elevator. On your way up to that thing, oh hey, we can see it now. Oh, and I guess that's where our little transport thing goes, up to the mothership. And
I was hoping, well, I guess I don't know yet because I'm not at the end, but like being able to go up into space would have been so cool.
now that this is unlocked, this is how it's gonna work. We need to shove components into here so that they can get sent up here to whoever lives up there.
I also deliver them by hand. I never have used those in my entire life.
Although first I need to know if we can keep building up, because I sure would like to know if we can keep building vertically, since it's oh so fun. And the good news is it looks like we can indeed build right through it. I think it's highlighting yellow to let us know it's gonna clip through things, as if we care. In fact, I think it looks better this way. Anyway, this is how smart plating works. To make it, we need these two things.
Yes.
Reinforced iron plates and rotors. Once we have both of those things, we can run a belt from each into this assembler, but to make reinforced iron plates, we'll have to combine plates and screws, and rotors are a combo of rods and screws. So basically we need 3 assemblers. Well, I guess it's a good thing I built those then. Now it's just a matter of configuring each one. You will make reinforced iron plates, which means hopping down here. This won't kill me, will it? Oh, nice somersault. And
This dude is going to need a better way to get up. He has been just probably climbing the... Because there's no ramps, right? He's not using the ramps to go up there. He's definitely climbing all these belts. This dude needs a grappling hook, a jetpack, a plane.
by that, I mean using the conveyor belts to climb all the way back up, pull a conveyor belt out of here, which is where the iron plates are coming from, and then send them past the space elevator, using this absolutely abysmal looking system to get the plates up there. But hey, it's hard to argue with success. All that matters is that they made it to the machine, and then we just head on over to the screws and do it again. And yes, by do it again, I of course mean to add on to this thing. Ah, yes. What a visual splendor.
I mean, it's working. It's doing the thing, dude.
And now we only need to do this 4 more times. Thankfully for when we're gonna make rotors, one of the things we're gonna need is screws, which thankfully we already have up here. So all we really need to do is run a splitter. And once we have that, we can just split them off and feed them into the next machine. And similarly with these rods, we're gonna use a splitter and use that to send rods up above. Yes, yes, come with me. Join this masterpiece. And now that we have the reinforced iron plates being made, as well as the rotors, we just have to wait for them to do their thing until we have enough off of them.
Which is the most powerful thing you can do in this game, is just set something up and then just go AFK. Go watch a movie, go have dinner somewhere, sit outside on the ground. I don't necessarily know what people like to do anymore. Do one of those things, come back in a few hours later, you will be blessed.
Then it's time to take them and feed them into the next machine where they will make the smart plating. And then that smart plating goes into the space elevator. Wow, just look at it go.
Yeah.
And that means loading is done. And now seal it with a kiss and watch as it plunges. And now send. Oh, and it looks like it's getting ready to send. Or is it? Can't be too sure about that. Distribution platform completed. Yeah, it looks real complete to me. Oh, it's so peaceful all of a sudden. What about you up there? Oh, hey, that thing's still up there. Whoa. Oh, and it seems to be growing exponentially. Either I pissed it off or this is what happens when you feed the space elevator.
It is a very cool thing. And it's almost like fireworks with my group because we're all like looking at it like, ooh, it's changing. Wow. It's very cute.
I wonder if they're as confused as we are how it built off nothing. Oh, okay, bye. We'll just go ahead and put it back where it was now. As we watch it build up and through all of our stuff again. It's so weird every time. I couldn't help but notice this thing is still taking the smart plating. And the reason for that is phase 2 needs not only those, a whole 1,000 of them, but then also these two.
I just finished this. Like, maybe yesterday we just added in everything. I'm telling you, we probably spent 20 to 30 hours just walking around the map, collecting hard drives, looking for Sam, and I guess marking locations for like where oil is or where like pressure geysers are, everything. So we spent a lot of time like leaving things automated to just fill up the storages while we went to go explore. This is huge.
Things. Well, let's get started. As you can see back down here at the hub, we now have tiers 3 and 4 unlocked, which is good because the next thing I want to focus on is coal power, because it's only a matter of time until I run out of biomass.
Which I'm surprised you're still able to do this.
In fact, look at this. Some of the machines have already run out, which means eventually our power is just gonna stop. So let's get this one underway. Oh, how I'll never get tired of watching that thing clip through all my stuff. And
how's he gonna do this with water? He has a little pond.
and fly up to all that stuff up there, and then parks and rots. I mean, I get it. I love to sit and rot too. I don't even think I would have come back. So the first thing we need to do to get coal working is we need to locate where the coal is. Hey, see, there it goes. What did I tell you? We ran out of power. Never has there been a better time to find coal. It looks like the closest is this one. Well, time
1,000? Wow.
to get going. Good thing we can speed it up by sliding. You know what's nice too? If ever I feel like I'm lost, all I really need to do is look around, and eventually I'll find this. A factory that looks like a 3-year-old's coloring book. And that's how I know I will always be safe. Okay, getting closer.
I was totally expecting him to die from falling right there.
Only 350 meters away. Oh good, I think I found it. But we have new problems. Like that I'm taking damage just for being in here. But hey, look, I found it. Blah. Great, here's our coal. Thankfully, we can put
Watch, is it gonna be pure?
down a miner from all the way back here. It's that easy, as well as conveyor belts, which I'm gonna slowly run all the way back home. Here's the thing though, I have a certain aesthetic I'm going for here. If you recall, back over here at my other mining facility.
Just for a quick, I like to just cover it just in case, like if one or two people don't know the difference between the different like quality of nodes. Just the quality just indicates how much the miners will put out naturally, from impure to normal to pure, and it's like, I don't know if it's necessarily double each time, but it's definitely a significant change, because impure is like 30 and it's just enough for like one smelter, and it does not feel good.
Facilities. We have a certain flow, and by that I mean everything is running through this one space, and so we're gonna continue that, you know, to maintain the beauty of my factory. So what I mean to say is we're gonna run this conveyor belt all the way around instead of straight across, which is why from this miner here it goes up here, then all the way down this cliffside before heading into the water and then back out again, and then finally back over to the green part of the game. Run free with the local wildlife until eventually you pop out where our biomass burners are. And then we're back in home sweet home. I did also run around and grab a whole bunch more plants, because I still need these things running for just a little while longer. Just long enough to get the coal running. Oh yeah, there it goes. Sweet, sweet coal.
Well, you need coal power. You need water, sir.
That sure is taking its sweet, sweet time. How long is this going to take? Excellent question. Let's find out. It It took 45 minutes. 45 minutes for it to reach the rest of my stuff. And this isn't even counting all the time it's gonna take for it to go down this conveyor belt all the way over to this thing. So I guess it's a good thing I ran by all the other coal locations and then added miners to all of them. I sure hope that means we have enough coal now.
You have more coal than I have. I've been using. Well, all right. Technically, I'm using 1 for steel, but then I have 3 for the water power. So I guess, never mind. I am using a comfortable amount.
So the process isn't done yet. Even after we find a place to put the generators, you may notice there's 2 ports on the end. This one on the right is where we bring in the coal, and this one on the left is going to be for water. Because while this thing works, it needs to be cooled. And yes, what I'm saying is we need to bring water to it, all the way up there, which is of course going to involve building more platforms.
And the pumps. The bane of my existence.
Because the things we need to make, like this water extractor, it requires copper sheets, which luckily is easy. It's just copper ingots turned into sheets. But we still got to make the machine that can do it and make sure that we have copper going into it. You know the drill at this point. Basically just run around and survey all this garbage until we see somewhere that has copper. And I don't know, this machine looks like it can spare some. Otherwise there wouldn't be a queue. So we'll just add a conveyor splitter, pull some.
That's really what it comes down to. If it looks like there's backup, split it and put it into something else.
For that copper away, and there we go. Crisis averted. Horrific mess extended. And now that we've got these things being manufactured, now we can make all kinds of fun stuff, because we're also going to have to mess with pipes. And luckily, right down at the bottom of our big tower, there is a whole bunch of water. So I got a
I didn't even realize that was down there. Isn't even enough water? Don't you need like a body of water?
feeling we can just pull from here. If it's good enough for that thing, it's good enough for us. See, the water extraction thingy fits perfectly.
It does.
Except you see that port where the water's going to be pumped out of? We're actually going to rotate that over this way. I swear this will make sense. Because after all, we can't just take the pipe and just run it straight on over to this thing. No, sir, we have a system, which is to say this pipe network needs to flow through the same corridor as everything else.
Sure.
After all, this is how water wants to be traveling, right? And I'm realizing something I can actually do here is that I can actually run these pipes straight up like this. And actually, for that matter, we also have conveyor belt lifts used to move resources between floors. I don't know, our system seems pretty effective, so I don't think I'll be going straight up the side of the building. This just seems so much more classy.
I don't know if it's gonna make it better for the pumps or not, but I'm sure he's gonna need to use the pumps.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's gonna go through a whole nother playthrough at this point, since like this is like a fresh run. I wonder if he's gonna end up like beating it. Does he usually beat games when he does these?
So that's what we'll call that. Classy. So very classy. I like it. It's like a water park gone horribly wrong. And now that the coal is also going in there, now we have nice fresh coal power. Or actually, I don't think it's working. What do you mean you're not getting any water? I mean, the water thingy appears to be working, or at least it's on. And if we look over at the pipes, look at that. That's a good thing. That means that water is actually pumping through it. All right, explain.
The thing is, like, it's interesting because he knows what the hell he has to do with this, because he's played this game before. I'm sure you have to remember that you have to use pumps, but what he's doing, it's like scripting almost. Like you have to lead up to the problem, especially from like a new player's perspective or someone that hasn't played the game. You need to make it more user friendly so it like adapts to, like, it's just good for more people. So basically, he has to write in like, oh, what's the problem? What's going on? Wait, this is working. This is working. What's the solution here? And then he's like, oh, we have to use these things called pumps, and this needs electricity. And bop, 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 bop.
Explain to me what's going on. Okay, I see. We're getting okay flow rate. And as we can see as we go further down, things are still pumping like they should. I don't know. So far, so good. Even as we enter this mess where all of our conveyor belts are, it looks like the flow is still pretty all right. But as the pipe keeps going and we get closer to this thing, the water is now just non-existent. No problem, easy fix. All we need to do is make pipeline pumps. Attaches to a pipeline to apply head lift. Well, those are some fancy words and I'm not an engineer, but I think what it means is once I build one of these things, it starts doing whatever it's supposed to do. In this case, I think it's really getting the flow rate up, because if we head way further down, what used to be empty is now all the way full. Well, good, that seemed easy. And it carries on even as far as this pipe.
Really? I didn't realize it was that far. I thought it was like 20 meters.
It's not quite as much. And then if we head up here and look at this pipe, oh no, nothing is there. Whatever, I'm sure more pumps solve everything. See, there it goes. Anyway, you get the idea. Basically, the pumps do the hard work of making sure this water keeps flowing. And excitingly, this process works. And it works all the way to the coal factory, which is now online and working like it should. We've done it. We have...
I wonder how much he actually used, because I think it would take more than one.
Sweet, sweet coal power.
Well, I guess 2.
Running. And since we have 7 lanes of coal, obviously we're gonna need 7 generators and 7 total water pipes. No problem, I'll just build as many of these things as will fit in the river. But whatever, if it works, it works.
That's
and boy,
crazy.
howdy does it
Holy shit.
work. This definitely didn't take me hours and hours of time to make sure that water would
You are out of your mind, dude. Are you kidding me?
flow through all of these individual pipes so we can get water all the way to the very top. But what's important is it worked. All the coal factories all the way down all work like a charm now. And now
You know what's crazy is he now has more power than I'm using currently.
I'd love to celebrate this momentous occasion by sending more crap into the space elevator. Doesn't seem too hard, we'll just make versatile frameworks and automated wiring. No problem. We just need to head over to tier 3 and unlock basic steel production, which gives us a foundry, which the iron ore and the coal combine to make steel ingots, which we can then use to make steel beams and steel pipes. And before you know it, a versatile framework is born. And oh my goodness, we're having twins. And into the space elevator they go. And now that that's done, all we need to do is head over to tier 4 and right on over to advanced steel production, which gives us industrial beams, stators, motors, and finally it all comes together to make automated wiring, which is now being shoved into the elevator. And all it costs us to set this up is a whole bunch of more machines and a more horrific amount of conveyor belts.
Funny.
Like every time we add—
What the hell was that water thing over there? Go back. I have never seen that before. Alright, a little bit farther. Okay.
set this up is a whole bunch of more machines and a more horrific—
What is that water crater? Where is that? Do I know where that is currently? Let's see, it's next to the forest, in between the forest and that, there's those 2 big water diplet. Where is that? I'm trying to see if I would recognize it. I see the coal stuff all the way down there. Okay. I'll find it on my run. There's gotta be something nuts in there, no?
amount of conveyor belts. Like every time we add something, I gotta drag more minerals all the way up. For example, when we needed concrete for those encased industrial beams, we had to take this concrete, run it all the way up, and then it climbs basically up the entire tower, all the way from here up to about here, until it eventually peels off to go into one of these machines. And then before you know it, the elevator is full. And seal. But before we send all that stuff off, I had kind of a thought, which is looking up at all of our stuff, we're not that far from this thing, so I kind of wonder, can we stand on top of it? And the only way we're gonna know for sure is if we build up to it. And that's why I built this thing.
He loves these conveyor belt tornadoes, which is something I would never say in my entire life.
It's not quite a tornado. It's more like a twisty thing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You may notice the higher up we got, there seems to be some structural problems, because the higher up we got, we started to run into some invisible walls, presumably because of how close we are to this thing. And for a while I could just go around it, but at a point I just couldn't keep building. Luckily we're able to remedy that issue by building off to the side.
Oh my god.
Which not only serves its purpose, but looks great. And you might be wondering, why did I build so high? Well, I can demonstrate why. You would think I could just jump down, but no, there's an invisible barrier. Observe! Ow. But
Honestly impressive.
now here we are walking on a flat surface I guess we just can't see. And what's great too is if we just look at the space elevator, we can access it from here. So now it's time to send and see what happens. Okay, well so far so good. I see nothing happening. Nope, that was something alright. Okay, now things are moving. Or well, things were kind of moving. Oh, maybe this is it. This is all that's happening. Oh, I see.
I thought he was going galactic. That would have been crazy.
Well, I'm glad to see the space elevator is still building while I fall to my death. The sacrifice was worth it to see you grow big and strong. Really enjoying the view from my corpse. Well, this has been a fun start. I'm really enjoying building vertically. And the nice thing as we look at our weird creation is we clearly have lots of room to grow. I want to thank Opera GX again for sponsoring this.
That was a great video. If you guys want to see more stuff like this or other games or even playthrough, just let me know in the comments below. I love reading from you guys and I love knowing what else people want to watch me do or react to or whatever it may be. I love content creation, so thank you so much for being here. If you guys enjoyed the content, consider subscribing, liking the video, and commenting. I'll see you guys next time.